Hi there, I am Susie, and today I want to tell you a story about my stepdad, who actually used to be my boyfriend. That sounds crazy, right? I know, and trust me, it is. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let us know what you think in the comments below, because it really helps us a lot. For now, let's jump straight into today's thrilling story. First, let me tell you that I do not have any memories of my parents being together. They divorced when I was really young, so I grew up not knowing what it was like to have my parents together. Although, that does not necessarily mean it was a bad thing. You see, I lived with my dad and older brother, so at least I had them. The three of us were close, and I never really had a close relationship with my mom. But boy, was I still surprised when I found out my ex-boyfriend married my mom. Yep, you heard that right. Andy was my ex-boyfriend, and everything had been going great for the first few months that we dated. We had a lot of fun memories together, and I am thankful for that part of the relationship. But that all changed when I found out he cheated on me. With my best friend. That is a completely different story. For a while after that, Andy would constantly text and call me, asking me to take him back. There was no way that was going to happen. Even after I changed my number, Andy found my new number and would try to flirt with me and get me to forgive him. For now, let me tell you the story of how Andy married my mom and then tried to hit on me. Stay tuned because I definitely made him regret it. When I first found out Andy married my mom, I was extremely bitter. Even if I did not like my mom that much, how could she do something like that and not have any shame? Even my dad was surprised. Andy was about 25 years younger than her, so it was simply weird. But regardless, I did not spend that much time around my mom anyways, which means that I would not have to see Andy that much. I tried my best to ignore the whole situation, although it was really weird and awkward. Except one day, my mom invited my brother and I over for lunch. Obviously, I said no and did not want to go. I mean, why would I after all my mom has done? But my big brother Tommy convinced me otherwise, stating that if I let them know their marriage bothered me, they would win. So, much to my dismay, I later ended up agreeing to lunch with them. At least I would have Tommy by my side. When we went to lunch, it was so awkward. My mom was acting like there was nothing wrong, and like my ex-boyfriend wasn't sitting right in front of me. I tried my best to participate in the conversation, but my mother nor Andy had anything interesting to say. Tommy was talking to my mom about something when I really started zoning out of the conversation. I thought to myself, how the heck did I end up here? Sitting across from my ex-boyfriend, who was now married to my mom and technically my stepdad. This really was so weird. However, I was quickly snapped out of my brain of thoughts as I felt someone rubbing my leg. Thinking it was someone else's leg brushing against mine on accident, I scooted up in my seat to move my legs back. But I felt it again. And this time, the feeling of someone rubbing my leg was higher up on my thigh. I just so happened to be looking at Andy, who was sitting across from me, with a big, giant smirk on his face. Of course, Andy was still trying to hit on me. Ugh, what a creep. Instead of causing a scene, I excused myself from the table and headed towards the restroom to get some air. Was this what it was going to be like? Did Andy just marry my mom to get back at me? I wanted nothing to do with him. As I stood there in front of the mirror, I saw the door behind me swing open. Surprised at the sound, my head snapped up and I turned around. And there was Andy, standing right in front of the doorway to the women's restroom. You can't be in here, Andy. Get out! I yelled at him. Aw, come on, Susie. You know you want to see me. You know you miss me. No, I do not. I do not want anything to do with you. Besides, you should not want me to miss you. You're married now, right? What was wrong with him? Was marrying my mother not enough? He had to go out of his way to interact with me and talk to me? Andy looked visibly annoyed, sighing. Susie, I only married your mom so I could get closer to you again. At this point, I had my hand in the pocket of my cozy sweater, holding my phone. I suddenly got an idea. I could secretly record Andy and embarrass the heck out of him and my mother. I could send the recording to my mom, or I could post the recording on social media. Even if Andy and I did not have a past, he should not be flirting with me. He was married. Even if he was married to my mom and was married for the wrong reasons, he was still married. So, as sneakily as I could, I fumbled my phone around in my pocket and started recording. That is so wrong, Andy. I do not want to date you. Wait until my mom hears about this. Do you really think your mom cares? If she did, she wouldn't have married me. I don't care about marrying your mom. I just wanted to get closer to you again. You kept changing your number, and I couldn't get a hold of you. You're probably right, but you could not get a hold of me for a reason. I don't love you anymore, Andy, and there is one thing I know about you, and one thing I know about my mom. It's that neither of you like it when your image or reputation is ruined, I said, a small smirk appearing on my face. What does that mean? He asked. You'll find out soon enough, I said, before brushing past him and leaving the bathroom. I could not sit at the table with them anymore, and made an excuse to leave as I walked up to my mom and brother. I'm really sorry, guys, but I have an emergency at work, and I need to go help my boss with something. Pulling out my purse, I set a $20 bill on the table. That's for my food. I'll see you later. Later on that evening, I sat at my computer desk playing the audio once more to make sure that it was clean and crisp. Sure, my mom was going to regret ever marrying him, but Andy was going to live to regret this his entire life. I was done dealing with him and was going to put an end to it once and for all. First, I logged onto Facebook and uploaded the audio clip there, with no caption. After that, I logged into Instagram and uploaded it there, also with no caption. And after that, I uploaded it to Twitter without a caption. I sat there for a few minutes, and suddenly, I got notification after notification throughout all three apps. On Instagram, people were commenting and saying how gross Andy was. The best part about it, though, was that I still followed some of his family members on Instagram. There's just something about seeing your ex-boyfriend's sister commenting about how disgusted she was at her brother's actions. On Twitter, everyone started retweeting the audio clip, saying how crazy and unreal the whole situation was. One of Andy and I's mutual friends said he had no idea Andy had remarried. And the best part was Facebook. My mom and her side of the family were friends with me on Facebook, and so was most of Andy's family. I sat back and watched the comments coming in. Everyone shocked and disappointed, and not only Andy, but my mom as well. Soon after, I received a text from Andy. What have you done? My family is freaking out. No, Andy. What have you done? This is all because of you. I hope you regret this for the rest of your life. Justice was served.